Welcome to Dead Bedroom Revival Podcast. My name is Corey, your host, and today I'm really excited about this episode. And I know I always say this, but today we're going to be talking about how to turn your sexless relationship into a passionate paradise. And I thought when I wrote this headline, I was thinking to myself, wow, this is going to be a very, very exciting episode to make, but also a very difficult to explain within a short period amount of time. It's one of those that you have to, I would need at least a couple of hours to really dissect it and really give you the best amount of information so you can actually have the tools to go and fix your sexless relationship. And if you really want to get more information, I would advise you to go to www.deadbedroomrevival.com. And you'll get more information on how to really reignite your relationship and take it to the next level. So really, why is this important, and why is getting your relationship into a passionate paradise? Myself, I was in a dead bedroom, and one of the things that when I say dead bedroom is sexless marriage, I use them interchangeably, is the fact that there was contributing factors within the relationship that got it to that point. Most people look at a sexless relationship, and usually the person with the high libido looks at the person with the low libido, and then they say that person must be broken or there must be an issue. And usually it stems from the fact that when you started your relationship, there was a lot of passion, there was a lot of attraction, there was a lot of intimate moments that you shared, which then made you decide that this person was for you. And once you get into a relationship where life starts getting into the way, and if you're married, maybe children come in as well, you stop doing those things that you're doing earlier, and then over time life comes in the way. And one of the things that I've discovered, and the best way to explain this is, I was speaking to a young man who was asking when is the right time to leave a relationship, and I said, you should only leave that relationship when you understand what's caused the relationship to break down. Because if you don't understand what caused that relationship to break down, then you're most likely going to get into a new relationship and then do the same things that caused that relationship to break down, and then you'll be in the same scenario. So before you even leave the relationship, understand what's caused you to this situation. And this is why understanding the problem is vital. Like in my scenario, it was me actually studying to realize that the certain behaviors that I was doing that was causing those scenarios where we could be having intimate moments or sexual experiences or seductive experiences. There's certain things that I was doing that was affecting that. So instead of me standing there and blaming her for the low libido, there was many things that I was doing myself that was causing this, for the sequences to, or at least the scenarios for them to present ourselves in order to actually enjoy each other in that sort of way. So it became very important for me to actually recognize those issues, and it was me taking into account, the way I say things, the way I cope with day-to-day life, the way I cope with stress. Looking at how do I cope with those things. And once I started realizing that I needed ways of strategies and ways of really being able to cope with it and deal with it in a positive way, then it started really changing things for me. And the other point as well is that it's being able to talk about that problem. And when it comes to talking about the problem, there's a lot of things that has been written online, especially on sexless marriage. They say you need to sit your partner down and then tell them about your needs, which is you need to have sex. And this is so destructive in terms of a lot of it online. And I personally have done that, and it's probably the worst thing that you can do, because here you're sitting your partner, and then you're telling them how much they have hurt you because they're not wanting to have sex with you, because it hurts. You're feeling rejected, you're feeling unworthy, you're feeling unattractive. So you're now expressing all these things that are negative, and then all of a sudden they take them on as, oh my, wow, I'm such a horrible partner because I've made you feel this way. So again, you would have thought that having that conversation would stimulate this environment where you're now mutually seductive and you're now doing amazing things in terms of connecting with each other. But no, it actually does the opposite. It actually buries them into a further hole, and then it actually continues the thing. Initially, they might actually acknowledge that, oh yes, this is my bit, I've stopped having sex, I've stopped feeling passionate. They might actually admit and take fault. But when they take things into context, it makes it even harder for them to go over the hill. And the worst thing that could happen is for them to actually accept and say, you know what, yes, I'm at fault, and then give you pity sex, which is absolutely terrible. That they feel bad and they want to have sex with you because they feel bad is like the worst thing that is. And that's one thing that I didn't want. And I wanted it to be an environment where it's mutually seductive. So when it comes to talking about the problem, the things that you'll be talking about is probably what you've discovered as the issues that you've contributed to this dead bedroom, and how they can help you to cope with some of the strategies. In terms of the strategies, or if it's that you're stressful and you don't know how to deal with a stressful day, then it could be a case that maybe you might need some quiet time with yourself. So you'd be like, oh, wife or partner, I will need some quiet time, at least 15 minutes per day when I come from work, just for me to reset. And again, that's part of the conversation that you'll be talking about, instead of, I want sex right now because I'm feeling rejected and unwanted and unworthy and all that stuff, which is just it's transferring all the old baggage onto them, and it just doesn't scream seduction, doesn't do it any good. So the next thing is also identifying the root of the problem. So when I say the problem, I'm talking about the things that you've done to contribute to this sexless marriage. A lot of them stem from being from childhood. So for instance, a lot of issues that I found within my relationship stem from the fact that my parents divorced. So certain things that I've done, and part of them is, the huge one personally is neglecting my needs. I put everybody else's needs before myself. Therefore, it leaves me running on empty. And then when it comes to me actually being intimate or being relational, or I've got nothing to give, so I'm just an empty shell. I'm not engaged when I'm within the relationship. So it's those things that I had to start actually working through and really trying to understand where have these things come from and what's causing me to behave in these certain ways, and then when I behave in those certain ways, why is it that they're destructive into my relationship on an intimate level, on a sexual level, and stuff like in those sort of the scenarios. So really identifying that root cause, especially from past relationships, those are things that are contributing factors to your dead bedroom, and you have to start actually taking stock of it, and like, what is those things, and really identifying those is important, especially because the actual problem, and you have to think of this as an iceberg. The actual problem will be the piece that is on top, but then underneath all of that, there is something that is deeper, that's really caused you to behave in those ways. And really identifying that gives you an opportunity, which is to start resolving it. And really some of those decisions that you've made based off of really things that are out of the past, things that you cannot change, things that of no effect of you towards you right now. So, for instance, if you were scared and you were never comforted by your parents, or you felt neglected by your parents, or if you felt abandoned, or if you felt there's certain things that would have affected you then that would affect you within your relationship now, and there's certain things that you can actually do in order to, part of it will be realizing that that's not the case right now. Your partner loves you and your partner appreciates you, and part of it is you then again going back to that communication things, like, I felt abandoned back in the day, and I felt I didn't have a connection with my family. I didn't have a connection with my mom. I didn't have a connection with my dad. All those things I feel like have caused issues within our relationships. And in terms of us going forward, maybe there's certain things that you can both do in order for me to start healing from this. And again, it becomes a collaborative effort and an awesome way of really being intimate, because being intimate with your partner is mostly them seeing your full you, your vulnerabilities, your strengths, the things that you fear, things that make you feel insecure and stuff like that, which is not easy for most people to open up and give, but also an awesome way of really contributing to those moments of seduction, moments of mutual seduction, moments of intimate connections and progression within a relationship. So again, this has been, I've been trying to make it as short as possible, so I've raffled through this very quickly. In order to start learning some of this in greater detail, I'll go to www.deadbedroomrevival.com, and we'll be asking for contact information, where we'll be sending you emails, and it's not going to be spammy emails. It's going to be emails where we'll be giving you even more trainings, but also we'll invite you to go to our Facebook group. In our Facebook group, we'll be able to teach you more and give you more details on how to actually start resolving your sexless marriage or sexless relationship, and we'll be giving you you'll be also having support from other guys that are going through the same and have actually overcome this. So thank you very much for listening, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Take care.